back in the 50s and, well, into the 60s anyway, on Sunday you could flick the TV on, black and white of course. We weren't in the age of colour here at that time. And Sunday afternoon there'd be a musical on. And my mother liked watching them. And my father liked watching them as well. And when he was in the Royal Navy during the war, he went to see a few stage musicals. And from those stage musicals, films were made later, film versions of it. So, he knew the story and whatnot. I wasn't really that grabbed by musicals then. I can remember as a child being taken to see South Pacific at a cinema in Birmingham called the West End, which was a very, very posh cinema. And they even had what my mother called flunkies outside. And that was like commissionaires and what have you. And they allowed you in so many at a time. Anyway, we went to see South Pacific at the West End cinema, and people had said to my mother, "Oh, if you can get near the front, it's just like the waves lapping up at your feet." I didn't think it was quite like that, but it was very bright, vivid colours. There was a support film with it that I don't think it was very long, and that was Nat King Cole. But the thing I do remember about the Nat King Cole film was him at this great big white grand piano. And that, I think, was the first time that I heard his voice. And I thought, oh, this is amazing, this. And I like bits of the musical anyway of South Pacific. Well, years went on, my tastes changed, and I started viewing these musicals in a bit of a different way, particularly when I was married. And one was The King and I. And my wife and I went to see a stage production of it at the Palladium. I managed to get tickets, and that's quite a long story about that. Get tickets to go and see The King and I, and Yul Brynner was in the role that he was famous for, and this was at the Palladium in London. Amazing. I'm trying to think of the lady who took the part in it, but it's gone out of my head now anyway. But what I wanted to show you was this box set that came out some years ago, Rodgers and Hammerstein, and 6 timeless musicals. And it includes The Sound of Music, not one of my favourite ones, The King and I, which I liked, South Pacific, which I told you about, and then this Oklahoma, Carousel and State Fair. Now, Oklahoma and Carousel, I think my father fancied himself as a bit of a light baritone, and sometimes he'd sing to himself excerpts from this, or he'd even put one of my mother's hats on. And he wasn't a man given to levity really, but still, anyway, it was funny to see as a child. But this set, it wasn't very expensive when it came out. It's not on Blu Ray, so don't let the cover fool you. It says new slimline box set, and it gives a breakdown of all the films, the story of each of the films. They're all on 16.3. They're at widescreen anyway, all except for State Fair, and I think this version comes out at around about 4.3. I'll take the sleeve off and let's have a look. I won't go through each one of them, but all the discs have a snapshot of some of the characters that you'll see in the musicals, so that's quite nice. I was surprised that there wasn't a booklet with this, but I think that they were trying to keep the price down, keep you entertained for a very, very long time. This, and I picked up this as a second-hand copy, and I think I only paid about £4 for it, something like that. You can pick them up even cheaper than that, but there you go. And what certificate is it? It's a U. It says U certificate here. And there are bigger box sets, I think, of Rodgers and Hammerstein, but these are the 6 prime ones anyway. Hope you've enjoyed seeing this, and maybe you love musicals. Maybe you like to sing excerpts from musicals like my dad did. I used to laugh about it, but he didn't. His voice wasn't bad, actually. You know, give him some credit anyway. Okay, have a nice day and come back soon.